In these notes today, we're going to talk about a plan for problem solving. So as you are problem solving and thinking about how to do a problem, I want you to think about these steps. So first, you're going to explore the problem. You're going to read it, okay? Then you're going to make a plan. And making a plan can be anything from just jotting a couple things down to just collecting your thoughts, thinking about formulas and all of that. Then next, you're going to solve the problem. And then lastly, examine the solution. So you're going to check your work. Okay, so we're going to do a couple problems here. They are going to be on area and perimeter for a couple different shapes. So the first one we have is a triangle. It first says an equilateral triangle has a side of 8 centimeters and a height of 5.5 centimeters. So this is me examining the problem or exploring the problem. Find the perimeter and area of the triangle. So the next one is plan for a solution. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw on this triangle. So I can already tell you right now that this is the base of the triangle. Okay, this down here, I'm going to drop this down. This is the height, right? And this is an equilateral triangle, so it's a little different. If it were to be a right triangle, this is the height here. So think of an equilateral triangle as two right triangles put together. And then we have the sides. I'll represent them as A and B, and I'll put a side C here for the base. So now when I drop the height down, that's going to make a right angle. Okay, so I have drawn on here. Now it says an equilateral has a side length of 8 centimeters. So I'm going to put here, this side is going to be 8 centimeters. And it's an equilateral triangle, so I'm going to add those tick marks to show that, yes, those are congruent. So tick marks in geometry represent that these sides are going to be congruent. We'll talk about the congruency and what that means, but just for now, just know that they're going to be equal to each other. Equilateral triangle, the sides are all equal. Okay, anyway, so we're moving on. Now I'm going to add in, it says that the height is 5.5. So the height is 5.5 centimeters. Okay, so for perimeter, we know that perimeter is just adding up all the sides. So the formula for perimeter is going to be equal to A plus B plus C. Now we know it's equilateral, so A is also going to be 8, and then C is also going to be 8. So P equals 8 plus 8 plus 8, which is going to be equal to 24 centimeters. Remember to label everything. Okay, next here we have the area. The area for a triangle, I hope we remember the formula, is 1/2 base times height. So then here we know the base is going to be 8 centimeters because we know that all the sides are all 8 centimeters because it's an equilateral triangle. So our base is 8 and our height is 5.5. We're going to go ahead and plug it in. So A equals 1/2 8 times 5.5. If you're doing this math on your own in your head, so 8 divided by half, that's going to be a 4. So then 4 times 5.5, we will get a final answer of 22 centimeters. So A equals 22 centimeters squared. The squared represents area. All right, moving on to the next example. So here we have a rectangle. Remember, we're going to examine this problem and we're going to jot some things down we know. So it said the door is 3 feet wide and 6.5 feet tall. Mr. Suter wants to paint the front and back of the door. One pint can cover 15 square feet. Will 2 1-pint cans of paint be enough for Mr. Suter? So we have a door. Okay, so the door is 3 feet wide. All right, and we know that it is 6.5 inches tall, or sorry, feet. So this is 3 feet, or 3 feet wide, and this is 6.5 feet tall. Now we know we also have to think about the other side of the door, so please make sure to remember that. So we know for perimeter is still just adding things up, okay? So when we have a triangle, we're always talking about length and width. So P equals width plus width, right? We have 2 of those sides here, so the 2 here down there plus the length plus length. Now you can also see it as 2W plus 2L. This is a common way to see the perimeter for a rectangle. Either one is totally fine. Or you can see P equals 2 times W plus L. Either one works great. All right, so next then we have the area. Area is going to just be length times width. A equals length times width. Then from here, I'm just going to go ahead and plug them in to find the perimeter and also find the area. So P equals 2. Our width is 3. So I'm going to plug that in. Plus 2 times our length, which is 6.5. When we go ahead and do that, we should get here 19. So then we know our perimeter is 19 feet. Awesome. So then when we go over to the area, we will have A equals length times width. So 3 times 6.5. And then when we go ahead and do that in our calculator or by hand, you are going to get 19.5 feet squared. So remember, for area, I can't stress enough that you have to always put squared after the unit. Alrighty, so now the area in the question, and I noticed I just realized I didn't have to find the perimeter, but there you go, there's the perimeter. The question is saying, will there 2 cans of paint be enough? So one side is 19.5. So if we know one side is 19.5, add 19.5 or multiply that by 2, and you will get 39. So we need to cover 39 feet squared of the door for the paint. And we all know here that one paint can will cover 15 square feet. So will we have enough paint? No, we need one more can. Because that one can covers 15 square feet, 2 paint cans covers 30 square feet, so we would need 9 more square feet of paint, or of door to cover. So then next we have parallelogram. So parallelogram perimeter is P equals A plus B plus C plus D. You're just adding up the sides. And the area is going to be A equals base times height. So in a parallelogram here, I'm going to drop this down. I'm actually going to move this over. I'm going to put that there. If you drop this down here, that is your height. And then you have here your base is going to be the long side. Whether it's the top or the bottom you use, no, doesn't matter which one. So the line that's on the angle that you have, that you see, is going to be your height. So then I'm going to go ahead and answer this question. So it says find the area of a parallelogram with a height of 4 meters and a base of 5.5. So we have a height of 4 meters and a base of 5.5. A equals our base times our height, and we will get here 22. And don't forget your units, meters squared. Alrighty, that is it on problem solving. I know that you've done a lot of problem solving, and hopefully you got a nice refresher of area and perimeter.